Hello and welcome to my video lecture on XML, Extensible Markup Language. Hopefully, as an IT major, you are somewhat familiar with HTML. And if you are, then XML should be much easier for you to understand. It is simply tagged data. Again, as the author has here on the slide, it uses elements, tags, attributes. It includes document type declarations, DTDs, although those are being phased out. It uses XML schemas, comments, and entity references. It revolutionized the way data is being exchanged over the internet. And I guess revolutionizes is appropriate since XML has continued to change and evolve over the years. So we're going to see things like document structure declarations, DSDs, XML schemas, and RelaxNG, all of which are replacing the document type declarations, the DTDs, for validating the XML document structure. We're going to look at XSD as a way of defining XML databases. It is recommended by the World Wide Web Consortium. And again, get yourself familiar. If you're going to get into this, get yourself familiar with the World Wide Web Consortium. Just go on the web. Go on the web. That's hilarious. But yeah, go on the web and look up W3C. So let's look at a sample schema. It looks complicated, but it really isn't. Again, if you're used to tagged data, this is not something that should be overwhelming. First of all, the first line is just the version and the encoding that's being used, and if you're dealing with the web, you're using UTF-8, or you should be. The next line is just the schema ID. So this is a salesperson schema. So what's supposed to follow, and again, this is metadata, is a description of what a salesperson is. And using the schema definition in the World Wide Web Consortium XML schema. So first of all, we've got the element name. So the element name is a salesperson, and the type is of a salesperson type. The complex type name is salesperson type, so now we're refining what the type is. And then you can see we have beginning and end tags, right? So we've got the beginning of a complex type, an end of a complex type, right? And then we've got a simple type, and then we've got the end of our schema, right? So the schema starts here, ends here. Then we've got our element name, then our complex type, the sequence begins, and the sequence allows us to have different components or attributes. So we've got one element, that's salesperson ID, which is an integer. Another element is salesperson name, which is a string, salesperson phone, which is a phone number type, and a salesperson fax, which is a type phone number. And then we've got a min occurs, which tells us whether or not it's optional or not. So again, should not be that bad. And then we've got a simple type, is phone number type, which is based on a string. The length is 12, and the pattern value, so there's actually a pattern of, so we've got 3 for the area code and 3-4, right? So we can define our own data type. So we talked about that in a previous video about your ability in SQL to define your own data types. Now here in XML, you can see you can define your own data types. So what does XML look like? So that would be the schema. So that would go ahead of data. So that would describe, hey, listen, this is what the data is going to look like when it gets to you. Now when we look at an XML data document, we see that it is of a salesperson type, right? So that's the schema instance. And then in this case, we've got our salesperson ID is 1, our salesperson name is Doug Henry, and our salesperson telephone number is 813-444-5555. And then you can see the begin and end tags, right? So it has to conform to the XML schema, or it will cause errors. And then let's take a look at another one. So in this case, We've got a schema that was already defined as a furniture company, or this is without a schema definition. So this is a furniture company. We got product ID 1. It's an end table. It's a cherry finish. It's standard price $175. It's line 1, end of product, end of furniture company. So they can be complex. If they're complex, they should come with a schema. If they're simple like this is just a one-off. All right, and that is the end of my video lecture beginning the topic of XML.